The readings for Tuesday, July 25th. The epistle reading is from St. Paul's letter to the Galatians, chapter 4, verses 22 through 27. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondwoman, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born according to the flesh, and he of the free woman through promise, which things are symbolic. For these are the two covenants, the one from Mount Sinai, which gives birth to bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and it corresponds to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But the Jerusalem above is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, "Rejoice, O barren, you who do not bear. Break forth and shout, you who are not in labor. For the desolate has many more children than she who has a husband." All right, some footnotes now from the Orthodox Study Bible. So for the last verse there, we're going to hit a citation first real quick. That last verse where St. Paul says, "For it is written, quote, Rejoice, O barren, you who do not bear," all the way up until the end there, or the end of this reading anyways. That is from Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. And then we've got a footnote for verses 21 through 31. So one verse earlier than where we started reading, and a handful of verses past where we read up until this passage is contained within this footnote. So read the whole thing in your own Bibles if you wish to get the full context here. But yeah, for verses 21 through 31, it says that by saying that Abraham's two sons and related events are symbolic, as noted in verse 24, Paul is not implying that they are not historical. Rather, he asserts that Old Testament history is announcing something far greater than itself. Hagar and Mount Sinai symbolize earthly Jerusalem and the Jews under the law, as noted in verse 25. Sarah, the free woman, as noted in verses 22 and 23, symbolizes the heavenly Jerusalem, that is, the church, as noted in verse 26. The desolate are those in the church, especially the Gentiles. She who has a husband is Israel, as noted in verse 27. Furthermore, Sarah is a type of Mary, the mother of God, for Sarah's son was born through promise, as noted in verse 23, the promise of God. Isaac, quote, was the issue of bodies that were dead, and a womb that was dead. His conception was not by the flesh, nor his birth by the seed, for the womb was dead, both through age and barrenness. But the word of God fashioned him. He that was not according to the flesh was more honorable than he that was born after the flesh. Therefore, let it not disturb you that you were not born after the flesh. For from the very reason that you are not so born, are you most of all Abraham's kindred, end quote, says St. John Chrysostom. The Gospel reading is from the book of Luke, chapter 8, verses 16 through 21. No one, when he has lit a lamp, covers it with a vessel or puts it under a bed, but sets it on a lampstand, for those who enter may see the light. For nothing is secret that will not be revealed, nor anything hidden that will not be known and come to light. Therefore, take heed how you hear. For whoever has, to him more will be given. And whoever does not have, even what he seems to have, will be taken from him. Then his mother and brothers came to him, and could not approach him because of the crowd. And it was told him by some who said, Your mother and your brothers are standing outside, desiring to see you. But he answered and said to them, My mother and my brothers are these who hear the word of God and do it. All right. Some footnotes from the Orthodox Study Bible. All right, let's see here. It looks like, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty straightforward reading, so yeah, it looks like there's just one footnote. These are short readings, yesterday and today. So it's for most of this reading, verses 19 through 21. It says to see the footnote at Matthew chapter 12, verses 46 through 50. It was not Christ's will to deny his mother and brothers. Rather, Jesus is correcting both them and his hearers, quote, to the right idea concerning himself, unquote, that the family of his kingdom, quote, is not by nature, but by virtue, unquote, says St. John Chrysostom. See also chapter 11, verses 27 and 28. Well, that is it, everybody. That is going to do it for this Tuesday's readings. Hopefully you are enjoying how quickly they've been they've been going the last couple days. Maybe you're pounding them out on your commute. I don't know. Whatever it is that you do with these recordings, I appreciate you checking in and following along. Poke back in here tomorrow for Wednesday's readings. And even more, what I appreciate would be that you include me, a sinner, in your daily prayer list. Lord knows I need them. But that being said, y'all have a good day. And yeah, take care.